I purchased another vehicle. I like the way they say another vehicle for business purposes. Do I need to title it in the name of the business? Jeff, you like this stuff.
No, we're not going to. We recommend that you not title it in the business name for a couple reasons. Liability, for one, it presents additional liability to the company, to your business, and second, it's a little more expensive to put it in your company. You may find that interest rates are higher if you're getting loans on the car, and commercial insurance on the auto is definitely going to be higher than personal insurance.
Yeah, because in theory, again, if you have it in a business, anybody in that business can go hop right in and drive that car around. And you're also, whenever you're doing business, now you're liable for anything that happens in it. So just by the nature of it, it's now a business asset, so the business is exposed plus you're exposed. Two people to defend equals more money, so it's more expensive.
Well, and I think sometimes we forget that we're using that car on non-business hours and we get in a wreck or something. It's still a business vehicle.
All right, so here's our deal. Taxable personal use. So let's say that you're spending $50,000 on a car, and you're using it 50% for business. First off, that's a problem. You have to use it more than 50% for business in order, or is it right at 50?
I think it's right at 50.
So you're right. You if you're going to write that thing off, it's very easy for the IRS to come in and say, we think that was actually disallowable deduction because it wasn't being used for more than 50%. Now, this isn't something where you just say it's 50%. You have to track this and prove that you used it more than 50%. Otherwise, no deduction. Zero, zilch. It is actually a personal asset, and now you're being thwarted. And if you took a deduction, they make you claim that as taxable income.
Yes, they
which
do.
is very bad. But here's the other side. Depending on the value of the vehicle, the IRS has a cool layout. What do they call that thing? It's the schedule of how much taxable income you have to include in your return every year for that vehicle based on its price. So if it's $50,000, you're going to be paying, I think it's close to $10,000 that you're going to have to claim if you use it for personal use. That's 100% personal use. So if you're using it 50-50, you may have $5,000 taxable to you. Versus, what's the alternative?
You have a personal vehicle in your name, and you're reimbursed under an accountable plan for the mileage taken. Is the easiest way I see doing it.
Yeah, mileage is just 54.5 cents a mile, and I should say business mile. And the easiest way to track that is something called Mile IQ. Easy app. You can just go on, if you have an Apple or an Android phone, it'll GPS you. So you just say, I think you swipe right for business, swipe left for personal,
right.
Whatever it is. It's one of those types of apps where you're swiping and you just say, hey, this was a business trip, this was a personal trip, and it tracks it for you. And then at the end of the year, you just say, here's the amount of miles, and the company cuts you a check, and you don't have to report it personally, and the company writes it off as an expense. That's typically our recommendation. There are exceptions, and the reason that we say this is our typical is because you better show me there's a really good reason to have the business vehicle. So maybe you have a construction company where you have some trucks or something like
right.
that, then maybe. But otherwise, if it's just your family car and you're just you're running around doing some real estate business or an MLM or something, you got to be really careful with this. There's a lot of people that have gotten burned on this one. And then once it's in the business, it's kind of a pain to get it out.
Yes.
It's not like you can just hand it to yourself and say, congratulations, here's a bonus. That's taxable to you. That fair market value gets hit. So I tend to be with Jeff. I like to see it in your personal name because it's cheaper. In the long run, you're getting a lot more benefit. My commercial insurance, I've done this before, was almost twice as much. So it always depends a little bit.